I want to ask you about one of the things that has been quite stunning this morning, which is a feud between Elon Musk and the president's top advisor on trade, Peter Navarro.
It almost sounds like something you would hear on a playground, if you will, a couple people yelling at each other or picking a fight. But this is the administration. This is real Washington and real business. But take a look at some of these messages going back and forth, more going than coming. But Elon Musk there calling Peter Navarro the top trade advisor. Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false. He went on to say a Tesla is the most American-made cars. Navarro is dumber than a sack of bricks. And you can look on your screen to see what he also there mentioned, calling him the R word. So look, Dana, the bottom line of all of this is Peter Navarro has been a long believer in a protectionist policy. He has been the leading voice here in terms of the president should not to negotiate. Clearly, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, and others have gotten the president's ear because he is now negotiating. But the name calling, if you will, persists here. I guess it's a team of rivals or something, the modern day version of that, doing it on Twitter. Dana?
Something like that. Jeff, thank you so much. The Senate Majority Leader John Thune, there's no way that he likes these tariffs, but he's looking at the veto pen that the president has, saying, I don't think it's going to happen. And more importantly, the House Speaker said, we're going to stick with the president and we're going to let this play out. So they're not doing anything on this either.
Right. No one likes these tariffs the way they've been done. They're just, too big, too extreme across the board. I don't know when we're going to see Congress finally stand up and show some spine, but I do hear the same thing, again, from Republicans and Democrats, and that is they don't know what Donald Trump is going to wake up and decide tomorrow or a couple of days from now or a few weeks from now. And that also makes it hard because they thought he would react to the market, that would be a guardrail. He hasn't. The reporting we have is that, just as we're hearing, China is standing firm, that Donald Trump is standing firm. Again, the uncertainty.
Even though a lot of the people who helped to bring him to the dance financially, the tech billionaires, Elon Musk, who is still, working in the executive office building trying to make cuts. Jeff Zeleny was reporting on what he said. We'll put it back up about the president's longtime supporter and advisor in the first term and this term, Peter Navarro, who's so focused on these tariffs. Musk tweeted that he is a moron and that he's dumber than a sack of bricks. And this is specifically in response to Navarro saying that Musk doesn't like these tariffs because he's primarily a manufacturer, an assembler of Tesla and of cars. And I should also say that the White House press secretary responded, whatever, we are the most transparent administration in history, expressing our disagreements in public. I think that's kind of clever, actually. Like, what else is she going to say? But it does speak to the reality of the very, very big tug of war at the highest levels in business and in politics.
A lot of people are losing a lot of money right now, including those billionaires that helped to elect Donald Trump, including Elon Musk. You saw, some executives yesterday come out very publicly against the tariffs as well. But Trump also seems to be in his YOLO mode, in the sense that this is something that he is long believed in. Peter Navarro has his ear. They have been planning for this with whatever fake math that they use to come up with these equations of who gets terrified. But Donald Trump doesn't seem to be backing down, regardless of the people that are saying that he should.
Justin, I want to play some sound from Peter Navarro, the White House trade advisor, what he said on Fox News on Monday. Let's roll it, and then I'll ask you a question on the back of it.
Dow 50,000, I guarantee that. And I guarantee no recession, okay? Why? Because when we pass the biggest, broadest tax cut in history within a matter of months, that's going to be a great stimulus. There's not going to be any inflation.
Really? So no recession, no major price hikes, no inflation. Give us your take on what Peter Navarro said earlier this week.
Let me be clear, it's nonsense, but I want to be clearer than that. This isn't a talking head saying it's nonsense. Right now, I'm going to offer Peter Navarro a bet. I bet you $100,000 that the Dow won't be above 50,000 by the end of the Trump administration. If you like that bet, Peter, give me a call. And if you like it a lot, I'm willing to mortgage my house and double it. Of course, he's not going to call. Of course he's not going to call. It's blather. It's nonsense. He's making it up. And by the way, I should tell you, I just made that call without even talking to my wife about it. And the good thing is I'm not going to be in trouble because it's the single best bet you've ever seen. So look, I'm deeply worried that we're going to enter a recession. It's not a sure thing, but to blithely ignore the possibility is utter nonsense.
Well, you know who may take that bet and double it or triple it or quadruple it, surely he can afford it, is Elon Musk as well. Because as you know, he's had a sort of public spat with Navarro for the last few days over this issue. And Peter Navarro was on television just yesterday talking about this and suggesting that Elon Musk, among other things, is he's a car assembler. He's not a car manufacturer. He doesn't understand how this works. And if anything, he's doing this because he's concerned about his own pocketbook. To which Elon Musk responded with this post: Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false. And I'm asking you, in a week where there is so much concern about uncertainty, we see what that can do to the stock market. We see what that can do in terms of business and consumer confidence. When you have the president's top advisors sparring and going at each other over an issue this significant, what does that tell you about global confidence in this administration?
The confidence or the lack of confidence that people have in this administration has come purely from the tremendous policy mistakes that they've been making. Look, Elon made a bunch and he made a lot of false promises about savings that never materialized. But Peter Navarro appears to really have the president's ear. We had a moment yesterday where the stock market, there was a rumor that went around that Trump was going to delay the tariffs for 90 days. Not get rid of them, delay them for 90 days. That caused the value of US stocks to rise by $7 trillion. It was just, $4 trillion, just an astonishing movement. So that is the market saying we are worried about what the president is doing here. And the thing about Navarro is, and here's my plea to the president, call any economist from the phone book. Look anyone up online. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be a left winger, right winger, anyone. Just anyone who has taken an economics course, whose last name is not Navarro, and they will tell you that this is mistaken. So the great tragedy here is not just that we have a president with mistaken ideas, but that he managed to recruit the one economic advisor who shares those same mistaken ideas.
Just quickly, Justin, I'm not sure if you listened to Jameson Greer, the U.S. Trade Representative speaking on Capitol Hill. He's currently speaking right now. One of the things he mentioned as he was speaking to politicians was essentially saying that the U.S. right now is talking and negotiating with about 50 countries, telling them all, listen, if you have a better idea in terms of how to achieve reciprocity with the U.S., we want to talk to you. I mean, that just sounds like such a cumbersome way of negotiating. You're essentially negotiating with the entire world at once. What do you make of the way in which tariffs were imposed during this Trump administration this time around? Just this idea of blanket tariffs on the entire world instead of what we saw in the first term of specific targeted tariffs on specific products with specific countries.
Look, this is a tariff plan looking for a rationale. You could say it's about national security, but then why would you put it on every good? Why do we have tariffs on leather saddles if it's national security? It could be about manufacturing, but then why are we putting tariffs on vanilla from Madagascar? It could be about the US trade balance, but they're simply not going to work. It could be about reciprocity, but why aren't these tariffs actually tailored to the specific tariffs that other countries have? So we have a set of tariffs. The problem is, and you saw it on the Sunday shows, the cabinet secretaries fanned out. None of them could defend what we're doing. It could be that what we're trying to do is bring business back to America. But if that's the case, People would come back to America because they expect tariffs to be high in the future. But if that's the case, then we couldn't possibly be wanting to negotiate a better deal. I find it kind of funny that the number one talking point out of the US trade representative is every country has been calling us this week. That's proof the policy is working. That's like calling my plumber during a winter storm. All of their customers call them during a winter storm because the pipes are freezing. That's not evidence of good news. That's evidence that you've got some very upset trading partners who need something fixed right away.